Hello and welcome back to another video. So things have been fairly quiet on the farm here now the past few days, but it's grand. It allows me to catch up on a few jobs that otherwise I would absolutely put off, like what I'm going to be doing today, which is picking stones. But don't worry, I'm not going to do a video on that, because probably the only thing worse than picking stones is watching someone picking stones. So I'll go into that on my own without documenting it, but I might show you an update at some stage. It's just in the rushes there now where we made the roadway here. All the earth was turned and whatnot. Sorry, these weanlings are very vocal, even though I gave them more grass yesterday evening. But yeah, so it's all rush over there and it's all stones as well. So in order to get my topper in there, I need to pick the stones. So I'm going to do a bit today. I probably won't do all of them because there is quite a bit, even though I did some, not last year, the year before. I put it off last year, to be honest. Just didn't get round to it, or didn't want to get round to it maybe. So that's what I'm going to do today, because I'd like to get the topper in there either the end of this week or next week. Easy. Yeah, and then I just need to change the ton bag that I put the silage wrap into, because foolishly the last time I did it I used a half-ton bag. I was saying, why is it taking up so much space in this ton bag? Well, it's a half-ton bag, so I might empty that one as well. Just feed the cattle and do another few small bits, but nothing hectic now today. I'm going to give this crowd behind me some more grass so that they stay quiet. Now, so I was giving them one strip of grass there, but you know, it's gone very damp, so I said I'll give them an extra bit. It's just trying to find that balance now, really, between them feeding it down right and not tearing up the place. But they're doing a good job of it. I'm going to show you the rushes here now and what I love about the topper. Now, I hope you can see there, but they're the small young rushes. So the cattle there are just after nipping them as well when they've been getting the grass that's coming up between them. So it's great that they'll just stunt them a little bit. Now I'm just going to show you what not to do when you have stock out early and the place is damp. So you'll see behind me a nice patch of mucky ground there. So what I was doing was feeding them their nuts from the trough down there by the gate. But I got a bit lazy and tired of dragging out the trough, so I said, you know what, I'll put it in a bucket and I'll just spread it along the wire there. And sure, now all I've done is created a big muddy patch from the gate the whole way up to, you can see the end of it there, which isn't ideal. So I'm going to go back to feeding at the gate now again, but yeah, it's just... there's rain at night here, and you can see there now today even the sky isn't looking great, so I just need to watch it with what I'm doing to try and hold it a bit better. So I've gotten a few questions and comments about the weanlings, some nice compliments as well, so thank you very much. But a lot of people wondering, am I selling and why I'm not selling, etc. So we could sell the weanlings, but if I did, we'd have no cattle left, basically, because the ones lying down here behind me, happy out, they're pretty much ready to go now. You know, they're nearly the 2 years of age, so they are going. Now, we could go down the other route and have more cows, and therefore more calves and more weanlings. But if we were to do that, we'd probably need 12 to 15 cows calving. And then a lot comes with that as well. You know, you have to calve them. Hopefully now they wouldn't be pulled, but you don't know. Dehorning, tagging, castration, you know, there's just more work with that, and especially when I have the full-time job as well, and of course Dad can't do the physical side of things, I think it would just be taking on an awful lot. Whereas the ones here behind me, they just look after themselves, you know, apart from a dose every now and then and things, that's it for them really, you know, move them around in grass and sure they're as quiet. So that's why we tend to keep the weanlings and keep them until they're about 2 years of age, and then we sell them then. We'll always sell a couple of weanlings later on in the year, so they're not weanlings at that point, they're yearlings. We'll probably sell a bullock or two later on in the year as well, but that's the reason why we don't sell them. Like, it really does just come down to the amount of work that's involved in calving. And as well then, I think if you're calving more than we're calving, you need to have a tighter window, and you know, we only have the one pen here as well, and you know, there's just a lot more to having more cows and more calves. So that's why we've chosen to do it the way we do. So if you have any other questions, just leave them below. Really? Big Black? Is that how you drink? I'm going to go out now and change the ton bag with the silage wrap there while it's still dry. It's really threatening out there, so I'm going to try and get as much outdoors done as I can now before it starts. Now I think I've been procrastinating enough, so I'm going to go and get these stones picked. It's all going to be done by hand, obviously, and with a shovel actually. So I'm going to do that, and I'll just check in when I have a few bits done, because there's no entertainment value in watching me picking stones. So I'll check in a while. Now, so that's me done there with that. I got a good bit of it done, so that's grand. I'll get the transport box in here now the next day and collect them. Those were my little piles that I have dotted around the place. So one thing I noticed there while I was picking my stones is they didn't do a great job in here when they were grazing it down. You can probably see behind me there's a coat of grass still there. So I'm going to get them back in here, but I can also see there's growth. The place is greening up already, so where they have well fed, I'm just going to fence off, and I'm going to force them up around here. It's probably not the tastiest stuff, and that's why they don't want it, but I'll give them 2 days in here then before I move them on up out of here. So we also need to get the slurry out in the next couple of weeks, so I'm just going to head up with Dad there now in the gator, and we're just going to have a look at the situation up there. So I'll show you what sort of grass we have and stuff up there now next. We're done with our drive around there. The wind is cruel out there, so I said there was no point in me even trying to talk while we were doing it. But yeah, it's a mixed bag up there. We graze it all in different sections, and yeah, it's starting to come. Some places we have a nice bit, so the weanlings will go up there and they'll feed that before it gets too strong. And then in other parts, you know, it's slower obviously, but look, that's fine. We'll get the slurry out there and give it a bit of a kickstart, hopefully. We then went down to the grazing ground lower down just to have a look at that, and growth is very, very slow down there. It's not good land at all down there, so not surprising really, but my muck spreader should be arriving soon, I hope, so I'll get down there with that and hopefully it does something for it anyway. And then I'm going to do fertilizer in other sections as well, so we'll start thinking about that in a couple of weeks time, and I'll just get a few bags out. Before I do anything else as well, I just want to say a big thank you to Farmer P. He sent an awful lot of subscribers my way last week. So I just want to say a big thank you. You know, he didn't need to do that, you know, he went out of his way to do that. So I really appreciate it. So just thanks very much, Farmer P. I started off today saying that it's fairly quiet around the place and I'd be doing a few jobs to tip away. But now after going up the fields, I'm only thinking the amount of fencing and stuff I have to do before I get those young ones up there. I'm going to have a fairly busy day off now the next day, but sure, isn't that always the way? You think you're on top of things and something else crops up, but yeah, look, for now anyway, I'm just going to throw in some silage to this lot and feed them and be done with it. I've it set up for the morning as well for Dad to just push in a bit to them, but yeah, that's me done now. Just a quick update on the bales as well. I counted them this morning just because I hadn't counted them in a while, and I've 35 left, so they're going through a bale every 2 days now since the weanlings went out, so that's good. That leaves us in a very comfortable place as long as they're all decent bales and I'm not throwing any away. But yeah, I'm happy enough with that now. 70 days should see me out of the winter. So that's it for today. A bit of a video about nothing, to be honest, but look, nonetheless, if you enjoyed it, please give me a like, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Thank you.